A bear celebrating victory, a secret two-point line, hidden agreements among the most important clubs. These are 10 things you didn't know about football. But how much does a trophy like this cost? Football champions are indeed treated much more luxuriously than other athletes. Yes, NFL champions get a small silver trophy worth about $4,000. NBA Finals winners get a bit of gold, which is $13,000. At least hockey goes big for its Stanley Cup winners, a trophy that costs $25,000. But standing at 15 inches tall, weighing 13 pounds, made of solid gold and rare minerals, the World Cup trophy has become the most expensive prize in any sport at over $20 million. $20 million! Now I understand why players do everything to win it. And I bet you didn't know that turning professional gets you luxury cars for free. Car manufacturers are now sponsoring some of the most important football teams and providing customized cars for the entire squad. Audi delivered cars to Barcelona players and even allowed them to race the cars around a track. But BMW did even more for Real Madrid because not only did each player receive a car with a personalized license plate, each player also got a new parking space with a charging station. Now, cars are cool and all, but at number 8, well, take a look at this map. Any country that is light-colored prioritizes football over everything else. So unless you're from China, Australia, Canada, or the United States, I likely know what your favorite sport is. But let's bring in some numbers. As we go up the list, you can see the estimated fans of each sport start popping up. We have baseball with about 500 million fans, basketball with 700 million, even hockey and cricket surpass 1 billion. But at the very top, we have football, with approximately 3.6 billion estimated fans worldwide. Good Lord, that's nearly half the population of the planet. Now I understand why a player like Ronaldo is the most famous person on Instagram. Then, what if I told you that Major League Soccer, MLS, is about to change football forever? I'm sure we've all seen crazy goals like this, but the problem is they don't happen often enough because players have no extra reasons to kick from that far away. Until now, rumors of a two-point line, similar to the three-point line in basketball, are being thrown around. Soccer fans are tired of the MLS not being as entertaining as other major leagues, so adding a two-point line would not only encourage players to go for ridiculous highlights, but it would also make football games more action-packed and higher scoring. I might finally buy some football tickets in that case. But at number 4, guys, I'm sorry to break it to you, but the game many of us love is coming to an end. Even though FIFA has dominated sports games and made over $20 billion, EA Sports developers have always wanted to create a bigger and better game, but FIFA didn't allow it. So EA terminated their partnership with FIFA and announced its latest success, EA Sports FC 24. The gaming company hit the jackpot because it was so well received that it sold 6.8 million copies during the pre-order period. This game is on a whole new level with new game modes, online career, customizable characters, even free exploration like in 2K. But speaking of money and agreements, what would you say if I told you that some of the biggest football clubs in the world tried to ruin the sport? 12 of the strongest teams in each Spanish, English, and Italian league, including Barcelona, Real Madrid, Liverpool, the Manchester teams, pretty much all the truly relevant ones, did something crazy by announcing suddenly that they all agreed to leave their countries and form the European Super League. At first, I was excited. I mean, all the most important football teams constantly playing against each other would be extremely competitive. The league winner would earn $470 million. It seemed like a crazy idea on paper, but within hours of the announcement, fans worldwide caused absolute chaos. Non-stop riots, fans literally breaking into stadiums. Everyone was angry because their favorite teams would be playing on the other side of the world, and fans felt that the owners only cared about the money the league would make and not about football itself. But all these behaviors actually made a big difference because within a few days, the Super League turned into a super failure. and the entire project was scrapped. It was a good moment. It makes me proud to see that democracy sometimes matters. One unexpected turn of events, however, was what happened to this guy. This is Charlie Morgan, aka the ball boy from Swansea, and his journey to becoming a millionaire started with this play. All because this kid took a beating. Not only was Chelsea star Eden Hazard expelled from the game, but the situation became so viral that Charlie went from a couple of hundred followers to 100,000 in one night. So he began using his newfound fame to promote his brand, quickly becoming the best-selling and most popular alcohol in the entire UK, IU vodka. Its luxurious appearance and colorful flavors made all celebrities want to taste it. Football icon Ronaldinho loves the drink. Jake Paul even tattooed the vodka, and with this bottle selling thousands of units a day, Charlie's estimated net worth is now over $48 million. All because he got a good lesson. Damn, who would have thought that getting beaten up would make someone so rich? I've seen it all. As if I had never thought I would be so grateful for footballs, at least for the last World Cup. The most technologically advanced footballs in history were created. They had motion sensors, offside detection, and stat tracking. The balls were so advanced that they sent data 500 times per second to a room full of referees who could make decisions without even being on the field. You certainly didn't know that animals were part of football. Cats, dogs, also roosters, and wow, even kangaroos jumping around during the games. However, things didn't become controversial until a football club brought a grizzly bear onto the field. Absurd! That ceremony put football on a collision course with PETA because they argued that making a bear perform was inhumane. But after all, Russia is Russia, so they don't care a lot about it. And they even allowed the bear to come and celebrate the team's victory in traffic. I'm not surprised by anything anymore. But now, the last one is about the 2022 World Cup, and it's not a good story. The tournament had been in planning for 13 years to become the biggest football event of all time. And even though many wondered why a small country like Qatar became the fortunate host, it all came down to the promise of building the craziest stadium in football history, not to mention the other 7. The expected number of fans showing up was estimated at 1.5 million people, most of Qatar's entire population. In practice, to host so many people, you can't just put them in tents in the middle of the desert. Qatar is synonymous with wealth, so the whole area had to be revolutionized with villas, hotels, and even cruise ships. But the heavy work that workers were forced to do was inhumane and made headlines everywhere. Accusations of human rights abuses are a controversial part of the story surrounding this multi-billion-dollar sporting event. Labor activists argue that migrant workers who built the massive football stadiums endured terrible conditions and relentless shifts in extreme heat. Injuries and deaths have been reported. Apparently, migrants were forced to complete tasks at 50 degrees where there was barely water or food. Officials even withheld their passports, preventing them from going home. Things stayed quiet because only 37 deaths were reported as linked to the stadium construction. But then the number went up a bit, and after all this, it eventually leaked that since the World Cup was announced, over 6,500 workers have died. After this, I'd say football has lost its essence. Like many other things, the moment it's all about money. Now, there are strict rules just for what you wear. There are not just random accessories, they were banned. And what Wang Shenchao wore for a few minutes literally resulted in a ban from playing sports. So what are you waiting for? The video's over, bro. You have to click here if you want to know more. Come on, click here.